Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. We are live via Facebook and LinkedIn. So if you're watching live, please do come on and say hello. Let me know who's watching. If you are watching on the replay, please let me know in the replay as well. And as we have a chat today, if anything that I say resonates with you, if you're going to take a different action based upon our chat today, let me know in comments because I would absolutely love to hear. So if you are joining me live, come and say hello in comments. Let me know who's here. And if you're joining me on the replay, still come and say hello. It's always nice to know who's been here. So just coming on to share my coffee with you today and give you a little bit of Wednesday motivation. And today's chat is based upon the old adage that we all got taught as kids: if you don't ask, you don't get. And it's just as important today when we're in business, when you're running your own recruitment desk or your own recruitment business. If you don't ask, then you don't get. Now, if you don't ask for the business, if you don't ask for the meeting, if you don't ask for the exclusivity, if you don't ask for the fee that you deserve, because if we don't ask, we're not giving ourselves the opportunity to get those things. And a lot of the time, you don't ask because you're scared of the answer. But actually, just as when you were a child, the worst you can get is a no. So, just to give you a little bit of context for this, Izzy came home from school the other day and she said, Mummy, I need you to buy me a new yo yo. And I said, What happened to your old yo yo? And she said, I took it to school and it must have dropped out of my bag. Some of the girls found it in the corridor, gave it to the teacher, and now it's on the teacher's desk. And I said, Great, we know where it is. We can get it back. Why didn't you tell Mrs. Malkin it was your yo yo? And she said, Oh, I couldn't tell her it was my yo yo. Now, I just didn't get that because if she'd have told the teacher it was her yo yo, she would have come home with a yo yo and she wouldn't have had the problem in the first place. However, if she was really upset about it, I wasn't going to buy her a new yo yo because if I bought her a new yo yo, it would make it really, really easy. She wouldn't have to face it. It's my cat popping up in the background. So when we had the conversation, it turned out that number one, she hadn't spoken up because she was worried about getting in trouble for taking the yo-yo in the first place. And number two, she hadn't spoken up because it was carpet time and she was worried about who would see. She was worried about raising her hand in front of everyone and saying that she brought something into school she shouldn't. So I sent her back into school the next day. She asked for her yo-yo. She got her yo-yo. She didn't get in trouble. She brought it home. And we had a chat about if you don't ask, then you don't get. Now, in business, if you don't ask, you don't get the opportunity. You don't get the exclusive business. You don't get the job in the first place. You don't get the meeting. You don't get the fee that you deserve. And a lot of the time, even really, really experienced consultants and recruitment business owners still aren't asking for what they want, for what they deserve. So that's my challenge for you today. I want you to, anytime you are put in a situation where you can ask for something that you know you can provide, something that you know you deserve, something that will allow you to provide better value to your client, I want you to ask for it because the absolute worst they can say is no. And then what have you lost? But if you never ask for that opportunity in the first place, then you automatically lose out. Now, a lot of people, a lot of clients that I work with, the reason they're not asking for things isn't necessarily because they're worried about people saying no, because they're worrying about other people noticing. They're worrying too much about other people and what other people think. And especially when it comes to things like posting on social media, they're actually holding themselves back, not because they don't want to do it, not because they know it will have a positive effect on their business. They're worried about old colleagues seeing it, not worried about clients seeing it. They want clients, they want candidates. They're worried so much about old colleagues seeing it and judging them. They're actually not doing it. They're actually not giving themselves the opportunity to grow their business. So if you're like Izzy, and you're not daring to put your hand up because you don't want all of your classmates or all of your old colleagues to see what you're doing, then just consider the fact that you could be losing out on opportunities for you. You could be losing out on the opportunity to grow your desk. You could be losing out on the opportunity to grow your business. Number one, because you haven't asked for it, you haven't asked for what you deserve. And number two, because you're so worried about what other people think that actually you're doing yourself a disservice because you deserve all of those things that you want and you're not asking for them. and you're not putting yourself out there. You worry too much about what other people think. So you don't ask, you don't get. And if you don't put yourself out there, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to succeed. So just a little story and a little bit of Wednesday motivation for you. I want you, if you're in a situation today where you can ask for something, whether it's the business, whether it's exclusivity on a job or a retainer, whether it's the fee that you actually deserve, I want you to ask for it. Because the worst they can say is no. You know what? You might just be surprised. They may very well say yes. And you've created an opportunity for yourself that you just wouldn't have had. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and I shall see you soon.